A peace, love, and light to the family. We are here on an unusual Tuesday morning. And if we're here on a Tuesday morning, you see Richie Moon on the True Heel YouTube channel, you know what that means. And today I am joined by my good brother, SP3, for the Go Home Raw show. And good brother, we've been watching wrestling for quite some time. We've seen a lot of Go Home Raws and SmackDowns. And I have to say, through all my wrestling history, I have to say, I'm sorry to start it off the way, to show off this way, family. That had to be the weakest Go Home show of all time. Just a lackluster in every single sense of just from top to beginning, Raw always opens up with an opening segment with somebody come out there and speak to set up the tone. But I was just thinking, I was like, maybe they'll do something a little different. Maybe they'll tweak something because this is the Go Home show to WrestleMania. But no, unfortunately, it's kind of some of the same old stuff. But, not all of it was horrible. It was just, we just know that WWE can do better. So let's kick this thing off. Yes. So the Scottish psychopath, Drew McIntyre, started us off Monday Night Raw, sword in hand, leather jacket in hand. And he came out and he cut a passionate promo saying, how he had to climb the mountain to the top. And him and Bobby Lashley's paths were very similar with traveling the roads and going through all these different places to finally get back to the WWE, to climb that mountain in itself and to be WWE champion. And of course, it wouldn't be an opening segment on Raw if we didn't have an interruption. So while Drew was in the middle of his impassioned program, the almighty champion Bobby Lashley, flanked with MVP, came down there to further set their feud for the main event of night one of WrestleMania. And just when you think things couldn't get any worse, man, before we get into this full segment, a couple of weeks ago, we were all celebrating Bobby Lashley winning the WWE Championship, and we were all praising how cool the Hurt Business looked. All of them, men of color in suits, doing their thing, real badass stable. They were just really setting the bar. And then, last week they got broken up, and then we went from all I have to say, we went from this cool, badass, really cool stable to now we've regressed to like last year's Baron Corbin's mid-card vortex. SP3, brother, can you give me some insight? How did we get from this cool, badass, suit-wearing stable back to Baron Corbin's vortex of evil?
Yes. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Yes, Monday Night Raw was not a very fun go-home show at all. It was very hard to get through, and watching it live, honestly, it was even rougher. But this opening segment, how do we get from Drew McIntyre versus the established Hurt Business back to 2019? Well, it's pretty simple. The connoisseur of reporting, Mr. Romeo Anthony Colon, he put it best. Vince realized that he wants WrestleMania to be Drew McIntyre's night. And he wants Drew McIntyre to be the biggest babyface at WrestleMania night one, at least. So he can't do that if we enjoy the Hurt Business. If we like Bobby Lashley, if he's this dominant, almighty monster that is with these guys that look good, have a great stable, been the best part of Raw for months. No, we got to split them up. We got to break this up, and we have to throw in a heat missile, a heat magnet known as King Corbin. I will say about this opening segment, Drew McIntyre's promo was really strong. I felt like it was very heartfelt. It got emotional, him talking about his mother having cancer and telling him to, go chase his dreams. So very touching. It draws a connection between Drew and the audience, which is great. So that part was great. But when it became the rotating door of promos, I kind of checked out of it. And a quick reminder to you guys, I know Richie's excited, we're live, but drop us a like if you're watching us on YouTube. Share this video with all your wrestling fans, your friends, your family. If you're watching on Facebook or Twitter, you could comment in the live chat. Let us know what your thoughts were on WWE Raw. And we will, of course, make you a part of the show because this show is about you. I am sorry for taking the reins there, Richie. Take it away back with your review.
Nah, man, you're all good, man. You're all good. You're all good. Yeah, like you said, this was brought us right back to 2019, but Drew McIntyre cut a really fire babyface promo. And to touch on that, I was just kind of thinking the opposite. I would think to make Drew McIntyre be that super standout babyface, you stack the odds against him with the Hurt Business, and he has to go through all those guys, then get to Lashley, then have to conquer that mountain itself. That's just simple. I digress. So let's move on to the next matchup. We had AJ Styles versus Xavier Woods, and they're building up almost. This was a pretty decent match. Xavier ended up winning this with the most devastating move in all of pro wrestling, that being the surprise roll up. Sorry, not the one-wing angel. And he got the surprise roll up because Kofi threw a mic at Omos.
Yes.
No, family. That's really it. That's it. He threw a mic at Omos, caused a distraction. Xavier rolled him up for the 1, 2, 3. And that's your go home segment for Kofi for the New Day versus Omos and AJ Styles. Even though that was very lackluster, the entire build for this has been lackluster. I am excited to see Omos wrestle. I think that he's going to surprise a lot of people. I think he is going to be agile. I think he's going to be athletic. And we all kind of see where this is going. He's AJ's heater, and then eventually he'll turn on AJ, and then he'll go on to his solo career. So instead of us harping on how lackluster this is, let's do a projection to how do we see Omos going in WWE? Do you see him almost being good or almost being bad?
Almost, I will say, facial expression wise, he kind of is very good. I think his reactions to AJ Styles and the New Day during this feud has kind of been the highlight and the only highlight of this thrown together mess. It always seems like when we get around WrestleMania, Richie, that if it's the Raw or the SmackDown tag team titles, we either get a multi-man or a thrown together tag team match, whether that's Braun and a little kid versus the Bar, I think it was, whether that's FTR defending against 3 other tag teams a couple of years ago, WrestleMania 35, whether it's a thrown together multi-man ladder match. Like, there's no concentrated effort to build a compelling feud over the tag team titles, whether it's on Raw or SmackDown, it seems. So I am all for them using this more as a tool to elevate Omos, to get him the experience. He's obviously going to be green on Sunday. This is his first match on a national stage, on the biggest stage he could possibly be. So this is a huge opportunity for him. This match is going to highlight him. This match is going to showcase him. So it's all going to come down to how Omos performs. We know Kofi, Xavier, one of the best tag teams of the last decade. AJ Styles, one of the best performers of the last 2 decades. But Omos is the only question mark in this whole situation. So it's all going to depend on his performance, on how people view this match. I do want to highlight, we got John Elite on YouTube saying, "Sup guys, what's going on, John Elite? Drew's promo was emotional. It's just sad that the Hurt Business is no more." Yes, I am like him. I am sad the Hurt Business is no more. But going back to the tag team match, I think that on Sunday, AJ and Omos need to win. And like I said, it's all about Omos' performance, which is going to be how people view this match.
Oh, I absolutely agree. Omos and AJ Styles need to win this match. It seems like, I think they need to win this match. Really, just like you said, to set the pedestal, to put that rocket ship on the back, almost back, and send them straight to the moon. Speaking of AJ Styles, it seems if it seems like this was thrown together at the last minute, I'm pretty sure it was. AJ Styles was requesting a match with Triple H for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But from what I've read, Triple H just, quite frankly, just didn't have enough time. It's not that Triple H didn't want to do the match, but Triple H, we all know he has a lot. He wears a lot of hats in WWE and NXT, and which I actually commend, he didn't have enough time to get himself in a proper in-ring shape to go against AJ Styles at this WrestleMania. So I actually, I would love to see that match. I think that would be a very fitting match. But I commend Triple H for not just, he could have easily inserted himself in there, but it's very rigorous getting back in that ring, especially he wrestles. He's kind of on a taper schedule at this point. He only wrestles once a year, so I actually commend him as much as I would love to see that match. I'm glad that he was like, hey, listen, I got too many responsibilities. I can't give you the match that everybody would expect from me and from myself. So he declined. So
yeah,
as much as we love, kudos to Triple H for that. Kudos to Triple H. What's up, Jason? What's going on? Good for tapping in with us on this good Tuesday morning. You know what that means. And next up, speaking of, we brought up Braun. This really, WWE should be promoting this as a three-way match, because this is a three-way match between Shane McMahon, Braun Strowman, and our attention span. Because, geez Louise, Braun Strowman versus Shane McMahon. Oh my gosh! I mean, can we just chuck it in the who cares bucket? I mean, okay. So let's put this into context. Braun Strowman came out there. The steel cage was down because they're going to have a match in a steel cage match, and he cut a promo about being bullied. Braun Strowman cut a promo about being bullied. I'm going to say this one more time, family. Braun Strowman cut a promo about being bullied. He's the monster amongst men is talking about being bullied. And which makes it even worse, which makes this just like blowing your mind, is that he squashed Jason Riker in a lot, but he's going to have a difficult time against one untrained professional wrestler in Shane McMahon on Sunday. Just where is the storytelling element? That's just completely just backwards to me, that he can smash Jason Riker and Elias, but he's going to struggle against Shane McMahon on Sunday. SP3, good brother, what are your thoughts on this debacle of a match that we have with Shane McMahon and Braun Strowman?
Quite honestly, it's been the roughest of rough builds on our road to WrestleMania here. Like, it's just been really bad. Like, it's been bad promos, it's been bad segments. We had a match at Fastlane that then it got taken off. He got replaced by Elias. It's just been a whole mess. They've been actively trying to make people less interested in this entire feud, it seems like. Like, honestly, that's what I think. That would make more sense than this is what they give us to get us interested in a Braun Strowman versus Shane McMahon match. I am not interested in a Braun Strowman versus Shane McMahon match, but I know people who are, and this feud has actively made them less interested in these two men facing each other at WrestleMania. But I will give it to this promo on this Go Home show. In a vacuum, if it wasn't in this feud, I would say this was one of Braun Strowman's better promos in a while. And even Shane McMahon, this was probably the best segment that they have had the entire road to WrestleMania. And yes, folks, the bar is extremely low. It is so low that some of y'all can't even limbo under it. No. You can, unless you are Stuart Little. It's that low of the bar, but they eclipse that, at least on this Go Home edition. Braun Strowman looks strong in the handicap match. Shane McMahon comes off like a chicken shit heel. And Braun is at least somewhat sympathetic thanks to his promo and thanks to Shane McMahon's awful promos, calling him stupid. So at least we got here. They made it down the road to WrestleMania, and hopefully on Sunday they give us something worthwhile. But quite honestly, I think Shane McMahon wins because Braun throws him off the steel cage through a table. outside the ring, and Shane McMahon escapes the cage first. That's how I think this match ends, because Braun's stupid. Duh.
I like that prediction. I can totally see that happening, and maybe a little bit of slime too, just because. I mean, why not? Jason Michael Campbell says, I'm excited for tonight with the Hall of Fame induction ceremony, but there's not going to be anybody inducting them, so they would just be their speeches.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think, I mean, COVID aside, do you think that they have opted to not have fans there because of the situation that happened with Bret Hart a couple of years ago?
No, I think it has definitely more to do with the whole COVID situation. They want to limit, and they want the first event that fans see in person to be WrestleMania. So I think that's why that more than anything is the main reason why there's no fans at the Hall of Fame. I think that is a nice extra thought to it of why they didn't make that decision. But I think it comes strictly down to they want WrestleMania to be the first event with fans in attendance. We also got Jason Michael Campbell saying, I would never go that far. I don't consider Shane a chicken shit heel because he's nothing close to Miz, but he is a chicken shit heel in this feud, Jason. I'm not talking about in general. In general, yes, they try to present Shane McMahon as some MMA fighter and a guy that can go hands for hands with The Undertaker and go move for move with AJ Styles. So obviously he's not booked like a chicken shit heel most of the time. But in this feud, he definitely has. He's been running from Braun. He's devoted the match. That's chicken shit heel stuff. We got John Elite also on YouTube saying Shane versus Braun has a horrendous, and I mean horrendous build. This is the match I look forward to the least. So yes, would you say that this is the match you are looking forward to the least at WrestleMania, Richie? And you're going to WrestleMania, so is this the match you least want to see on your trip to the grandest stage of them all?
Unfortunately, this is not, and this is really sad because just to give a little bit of context, remember when Sasha Banks was on the Broken Skull podcast, and we have all seen the no pun intended, the evolution of the women's division and how they come to headline shows, and we don't blink twice at it. I thought after that interview that the women's division will be pushed even more. So I say all that to say the match that I'm least looking forward to is basically the 4-way eliminator match that they just threw together at literally the last second with all the women, and it's just a shame because all the women are super talented and they deserve a lot more. If you watch my Raw reviews, I say that the Raw women's division has converted back to the Divas era. They really are treating those talented women, bringing them right back to the Divas era. But the Braun versus Shane McMahon is not that much further above that. they're right here. They're right here with the matches that I'm least looking forward to. So yeah, hopefully that match is on night one. I'm gonna be at night 2. So hopefully the match is on night 1.
Yeah, I believe they did announce that it's on night 1. So you're safe.
Next up, ahead of their championship match from out of nowhere, we had Rhea Ripley and Asuka teaming up to go against Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. And Rhea Ripley just did an interview recently, and she was quoted as saying that she went soft. She felt like she was soft. She had that super duper heel run, and not super duper heel run, but she was over in NXT. Rhea Ripley was easily one of the most popular superstars this time last year, going up with her match against Charlotte Flair, and then ever since that loss from Charlotte Flair, she's really been climbing back up to reestablish herself. And I feel like they debuted her strong on Raw. I wish they would have gave her a bit more character because, they've been cheering her the last week, and then now it seems like they're turning her heel, which I'm here for. I prefer a heel Rhea Ripley, but this is just another example of WWE just really treating the women's division as an afterthought, really just throwing this together. Will they coincide? Will they not coincide? The same exact storyline that they've been doing with Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks on SmackDown, copy, old, delete, copy and paste. But here it is. I think Rhea Ripley and Asuka can have a badass match at WrestleMania, and then we can just kind of, Men in Black just erase the rest of this, and then we can get Rhea Ripley to a strong championship. Yeah, exactly. Just delete that. We can get Rhea Ripley to a strong championship. Dominant. We can wrap it up in a nice little bow. But as far as the match tonight that happened last night, Rhea Ripley ends up turning on Asuka, which ends up leading Shayna Baszler to pin your champion. And it was just lackluster. It's really sad because you can have your opinion about Nia Jax, but all four of these women are super talented, and I just think they deserve more. SP3, what are your thoughts, good sir?
Yeah, I just felt like this entire segment just really felt thrown together and didn't make any bit of sense. Like, why would Rhea Ripley risk injury? She almost got her leg injured by Shayna working over it in the match. If this was the goal in the end, because we saw the backstage promo before this matchup with Rhea Ripley talking, and she said she knows what she was doing going into this tag team matchup. People actually, can you guys coexist? Because obviously you can't, because no one can seem to coexist going into WrestleMania, it seems. But Rhea was like, I know what I'm doing. I know why I'm doing this. So she had this all in mind in the end. So it's like, why waste 15 minutes of this match if you were going to attack your partner for no reason at all other than to get the upper hand going into WrestleMania? Like, it wasn't like Asuka beat her up. Like, they teased not coexisting the entire match. Like, they tagged each other on the fucking head for most of this shit. Like, oh man, it was just like, Jesus Christ. I just want you guys to try. I just want you guys to try just a little bit. Just try to make sense and just try to keep to these people's characters. Like, Asuka is been the worst booked Raw Women's Champion of all time. I'm saying it now. Yes, Sasha Banks and Charlotte Flair tossed around that title like a hot potato in 2016. Yes, Bayley didn't get much of a run at the beginning of 2017. Nia Jax was the Raw Women's Champion. She didn't get much of a run. Sasha Banks, in all of her runs as Raw Women's Champion, didn't get much of a run. But Asuka has literally, up until this point, up until this feud with Rhea Ripley, has not been in a feud about her since way before SummerSlam. Like, before she started interacting and interjecting into the Boss and Hug connection, the Golden Role Models, their storyline, and she feuded with them in the summer. Like, she was the third wheel in that feud. And then she had a random 1 month or 3 week build with Zelina Vega. And in any story that is really about her since then, we thought the Charlotte Flair return was going to lead up to them being partners, then dissension, then they verse at WrestleMania. We didn't even get that much. We just got them losing the tag team titles, and really Charlotte was feuding with Lacey Evans the entire time. Like, they have not given Asuka the intention, the focus, the spotlight that she deserves. She has been the worst booked Raw Women's Champion in a plethora of horribly booked Raw Women's Champions. Asuka is the worst.
Yeah, all that. All that. There's nothing really left to say about that. My good brother SP3 laid it out for you. That, all that. Shout out to Asuka though. Even though you've been horribly booked, we still love you. We still love you. Hope everyone is doing well. Hey, thank you, good brother. Hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. Getting ready for WrestleMania week, man. Despite Raw's lackluster, we're still in WrestleMania week. We still got NXT stand and deliver. We got AEW's first house show on Friday. So despite even though Raw is lackluster, we still got a really exciting week of wrestling ahead of us. Johnny Elite for Life says, this is my problem with WWE. They did the exact same thing with Sasha and Bianca. This was rinse and repeat. I couldn't agree with you more. This is the exact same thing that they're doing with Sasha and Bianca, and it's a bit sad because I'm pretty sure these storylines can be a lot more interesting. And speaking of also being sad, the next segment that we had on Raw was all the Raw women standing in a row. Yeah, they were standing in a row, and Billie Kay. Shout out to Billie Kay. Listen, we all need to protect Billie Kay by all means. Okay, she is comedy genius. I always say this: when wrestling comedy is done right, it's amazing. And I think Billie Kay just hits it right every single time with her resume. She is just funny. They just need to give her rooms. If anybody actually deserves a talk show, it's actually Billie Kay. She is just hilarious. Even when she doesn't really have any lines, her facial expressions, the resume, she's just hilarious. But yeah, all the women were backstage, and that's we got the announcement for the four-way eliminator match, and whoever wins on night one goes on to night two. And like I said, man, I feel like the Raw Women's division has been really it's took several steps backwards to the Divas era with just the amount of time that they get with backstage segments, with the amount of time they get in the ring. It's sad because you've never had such a stacked women's roster. Like, why are you treating them like that?
Yeah.
But hey, what are your thoughts on that, good brother? What are your thoughts on the treatment of the woman as of lately?
Just the women's tag team division in general has just not been booked very well. Like, they keep telling us on commentary that Shayna and Nia have been this dominant force in the division, but they haven't even liked each other half the time that they've been the champions. They really haven't been in any memorable feuds. The most memorable match that they had was the first time that they won the women's tag team championships from Sasha and Bailey. So that's your peak. Your first win of the tag team titles was your peak, was your best match. And then it's been steady decline since then. Like their matches with Lana and Naomi have not been that memorable. Their matches with Mandy and Dana have not been that memorable. It's like I want them to get into matches with like the Riot Squad and Tamina and Natalya, because at least it's something new. At least it's something different. It's just really disappointing that we're going into a WrestleMania with like 14 matches, 7 matches on each card, and only 4 of the matches are women's matches, and 2 of them have had 0 build. It's just throwing teams together in a tag team turmoil, and then the winner of that versus the women's tag team champions. The Raw Women's Championship feud has not been that good. It's just been a 3-week build, and randomly Rhea Ripley turned heel the go home show. Sasha and Bailey have been lackluster and been more focused on Reginald and the women's tag team titles. So it's just a disappointing indictment on the creative process, especially when it concerns women going into WrestleMania. It just hasn't been good, whether you look at Raw, SmackDown, or the women's tag team division. It's just been very weak, and we want more. We want more from the women. We want Sasha and Bianca to main event. It just hasn't felt like a WrestleMania main event at all, thanks to the build. And Asuka and Rhea are kind of getting like semi-main event shouts from like the way they're telling us on the lineup for night 2, and they don't even deserve semi-main event status. Like, they middle of the card, second match on the show, something like that. But like, yeah, it's just, we want more. Like, you just put Rhea and Asuka in the ring and people wanted to see that match, and it seems like ever since then, the week since, they've been trying to make us not want to see the match. And it's just, they've done that with a lot of feuds on this road to WrestleMania.
Absolutely agree with you, good brother. Speaking of things that we don't want to see, next up we had Cedric Alexander backstage, and he approached MVP. He was pretty pissed off about the way things fell off with the Hurt Business, but MVP made some really good points. He made Shelton Benjamin and Cedric very relevant, very 2 good talented wrestlers that just been under the radar, haven't been getting the attention. But once MVP put his magic on them, they were tag team champions. They were, definitely MVP. MVP needs to have that meme. Just put, I'm saying, he put the special MVP dust on them, and they were very relevant. For a while, Hurt Business were a cornerstone of Monday Night Raw, and we all went off earlier about how that got Thanos snapped out of existence. And Cedric Alexander, grabbed MVP up, got all in his face. And after he said a couple of words, he walked away. And then Bobby Lashley came up to him and was like, "Yo, man, what's going on?" And MVP downplayed it. I think when I see that, I know that there was some creative differences. I know, from the backstage reports, MVP and Bob and Shelton Benjamin were adamant about not breaking up the Hurt Business. I think as fans, we all agree that was a horrible move, or at least you could have just waited until after WrestleMania to do that. That would have actually made more sense for Bobby Lashley to lose to Drew McIntyre, and then that's the breakup of the Hurt Business, because essentially 4-on-1. But hey, whatever. But MVP downplayed it. He downplayed it, and then Bobby Lashley said, "I'm going to break Cedric Alexander's ass in half." I built Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin up like that just to show you how far they've fallen so quickly. Cedric Alexander didn't even get an entrance for this glorified squash match, and Bobby Lashley just put the beats on him. He put the beats on his former brother. Shelton Benjamin came down at the end for the save. He just gets beat literally out of the suit, and it's sad, man. It's really sad how cool and together they were, and then 2 weeks later, Bobby Lashley is just squashing his former teammates, man. A true fall from grace. SP3, what are your thoughts on this sad situation we found ourselves in?
Man, that backstage segment was very sad because it just felt and looked like Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander did not want to do that, did not want to be there. They had Cedric fumbled over his lines because he had no feeling behind it. He didn't believe what he was saying. And you need that belief, that delivery whenever you are talking in a promo, whether it's backstage in front of the fans, and he just had zero passion behind anything he was saying. And it's just, oh man, why? Why would they break up the Hurt Business? It's like we are 6 days from WrestleMania, and the Hurt Business, Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander, they've been working hard. They get an opportunity. They are part of this great stable that is the best part of Monday Night Raw. And then they're used as founder for the WWE champion going into WrestleMania. They're used to make him look better. We did not need the breakup of this stable for Shelton and Cedric to make Bobby Lashley look better. You know how they've been making him look better for months? By standing next to him, not against him, standing next to him. They've been making him look better. They've been making him look like he is in this new evolution, new Four Horsemen, the African-American version of it. And it's just like, why we can't have that? Why we can't have good things? Why? Why do we have 2 women of color about to be at WrestleMania, and we could just make them the main event, make it feel like a WrestleMania event, and we don't get that? We have an African American WWE champion, and we want to cheer him. Why can't we just cheer him? Why do you actively want to make him hated, Vince? Why do you actively want to make him hated, Bruce? Why do you actively want to make him hated, WWE? I get it. Drew McIntyre needs his moment. He needs to get that pop from the fans when he wins the WWE champion. But you may work against Drew McIntyre in the long run. If Drew McIntyre cuts the legs off of Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania when Bobby Lashley is picking up momentum, this may backfire, and Drew McIntyre, when there is fans back full time, may start to hear some boos because he's pretty much being booked like John Cena at this point. The handicap match win against the Hurt Business, a long match against Baron Corbin where he hits one move and he wins. Like, this is the Cena booking, and just trying to make someone that we actually respect and we want to cheer hated is just going to work against Drew McIntyre in the long run. That's what I really see. As for this match, I enjoyed it. I thought Cedric had bursts where he looked good, but it's just the overall feeling that this matchup and the Hurt Business being broken up and the last couple of weeks of the build with Lashley and Drew McIntyre has been very frustrating for me as a fan.
I absolutely agree with you, good brother. I absolutely agree with you. Everything that he just said, everything that he just why can't we have good things? So moving on to the next segment. This honestly has been one of the best told, well built up, long-term stories going into WrestleMania out of all the stories. This might have this might be the most built up storyline going into WrestleMania. And of course, I'm referring to kind of the three at this point. It's kind of a three-way feud, kind of a handicap feud with the Fiend, Little Miss Bliss, and Randy Orton. Now, I just want to run down some things. We've had demonic possessions, supernatural events. Randy Orton apparently has an evil twin. A man being burned alive. He burned that man. Randy Orton having black ooze, pus, whatever, vomit coming from out of his gut. Once again, a man was burned. We've had teleportations. We've seen Little Miss Bliss turn into evil Miss Bliss. And all of this build-up, and all of this for the go-home segment, for their match at WrestleMania, which I'm hoping is going to be a cinematic match, for all to be built up. We know what the go-home segment was. Do you know what the go-home segment for one of the most built-up matches were? It was a video package. We didn't see Randy Orton. We didn't see The Fiend. We didn't see Alexa Bliss. No Firefly Funhouse. No backstage segment. Nothing. A video package.
Yep. Seems legit.
Yep. That's what we got. If you have anything to say about it, take the floor. It's a video package. You know what? I hope it's a cinematic match. That's really all I got for this. I really hope it's a cinematic match. I was at WrestleMania 33 when we seen Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt, and yeah. Ooh.
Not good.
So, let's hope it's a cinematic match. Well, SB3, if you have any thoughts, any comments, and opinions, take the floor, my good brother.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, not much to say about this match. I do wish they would have made this like a Firefly Funhouse, a cinematic match. This was the one match on the card that really asks for that, because I don't think anyone, and I mean anyone, going to WrestleMania wants to see a live Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton match. I don't think they want to see that in the ring. Like, no. We want to see the Firefly Funhouse. We want to see references to Randy Orton's past. We want to see the handshakes touching the dick. We want to see dumps in duffel bags. We want to see, the odes to the legacy and evolution and to all the people he's punted in the head. Like, there is so much for them to explore in the Firefly Funhouse. It's like, why, oh why have you not announced it is the Firefly Funhouse? There's another match that, we thought was going to happen at WrestleMania that literally got changed on this episode that I'm kind of upset you haven't mentioned yet, but I let you have the floor because this is Richie's Raw recap. But we got Jason Michael Campbell on Facebook in the comments saying, yeah, people are still not happy about Asuka getting the title handed to her at Money in the Bank, but I have no problem with it. But that's the wrestlers. They just worked that into the storyline. We got a good brother, Brent Thomas, saying, hi, SP3. Just wanted to say thanks for a video you and John Scott did for me. Logan Paul at WrestleMania. I can't wait. Richie, Brett Thomas was on Powered 4 SP3 and other shows that I do on YouTube, saying that, kept asking, are we going to see Logan Paul at WrestleMania? Are we going to see Logan Paul at WrestleMania? Like, literally, before it was even a thought, even reported, or even the tweets exchange between Sammy and Logan, he was saying Logan Paul at WrestleMania. So Brett Thomas, we did a nice little montage of all the moments on all the different shows on Power 4 that he predicted it. So shouts out to him for that great call. We also got Jason Michael Campbell saying Mustafa Ali didn't deserve to lose to Matt Riddle. We got John Elite on YouTube saying, with the way The Fiend returned at Fastlane, can he return to the way he looked before being set on fire by Randy? I predict after he defeats Randy at WrestleMania, we will probably return to the original Fiend look. I don't think this burnt look is something long term or something that he should do for more than this build up to WrestleMania and his feud with Randy Orton. So I think after this, after he puts this to rest, yes, we will go back to the original Fiend look. So yeah, a lot in the comments. Thank you guys. Keep those comments coming. Drop those likes on this video, heart emojis, laugh emojis, angry emojis. Show your emoji feelings on Monday Night Raw on Facebook and give us a thumbs up on YouTube. Put your comments in the live chat because this show is about you guys. And of course, Richie, because it's Richie's Raw Recap. Jason Michael Campbell saying, speaking of Logan Paul, how I found out he has a brother named Jake is somebody guessed it from The Masked Singer, and it was Logan Paul that was revealed. Oh, how ironic. You thought it was Jake Paul, and it's Logan Paul. That's fun. But yes, Richie, you got to continue with the Raw Recap, so take it away, good brother.
Man, no problem, no problem. What was that match that you were referring to? Maybe I'm gonna mention it a little bit later, but if I don't mention it, please, don't please step in and mention it. Next up, we have The Miz and John Morrison. Oh man, John Morrison. There is a part of my heart that just breaks every time I see John Morrison, man. Johnny, not all the different iterations that he had. This guy's traveled the world for like the last 10 years, have been world champions, headlining events, and then he gets back to WWE, and he's just the Miz's sidekick. But you know what? Maybe he wants this. Maybe he's okay with this. You know, a lot of wrestlers, sometimes you hear them say they've done their artwork already. You know what I'm saying? They've done their art part of wrestling, and maybe he's just here. You know, I'm pretty sure WWE is paying him pretty handsomely. His wife is now in WWE, so, you know, things could be a lot smoother. But from a fan's perspective, it really makes me sad because I've been watching John Morrison when he left WWE. He was killing the business all around the different promotions that he's in, having these really great matches. Johnny, you know, he's been Johnny everything, you know. But to bring that back full circle, he's back with his good buddy Miz, and they threw some very washable paint on Bad Bunny's car. Bad Bunny was really upset about it. He was angry. You know, and at first they were kind of like doing this like this was going to be a one-on-one match. I never thought this was ever going to be a one-on-one match. It should have never even been thought of a one-on-one match. We have the up-and-coming rising superstar Damian Priest, and I was right on my Raw review. Go back a couple of weeks ago. They gave him that 3-week spotlight. They gave Damian Priest 3 weeks, and after that, it was right down there.
Bad Bunny don't need him. He's fine. Get him out of here.
Get out of here. You only get 3 weeks. You're lucky you got that. We got Bad Bunny. That's all you need. So after this, you know, it was made official. We're gonna have Damian Priest, who I call Equal Taker, and Bad Bunny versus The Miz and John Morrison. I've been calling Damian Priest Equal Taker ever since. Goes roll it back all the way when he was punished with Martinez back in Ring of Honor. I've always called him Equal Taker. This is nothing new. I think this is going to be cool, actually. I've actually kind of enjoyed Bad Bunny. My issue with this promo, and my issue, I think that a lot of us fans that we have watching, we've been watching since back in the day to now, is that Bad Bunny in his promo was naming guys from years ago that got excited about wrestling. You know, named the Undertaker, the Stone Colds, the Booker T's. I want to see a celebrity come on there and say, you know, John Cena, Roman Reigns, AJ Styles. I want to see them name people from the recent era. We all know why we love, you know, the back of the day. We all know that, but I want to see them name some people from the recent era, and it's kind of an indictment, and it's kind of it's a perspective of how fans view WWE. You know, when I tell people I still watch wrestling, they immediately go to the Undertaker, the Stone Colds, the Rocks, the Triple H's. You know, it's very rare to hear them say the John Cena's, the Roman Reigns, the, you know, today's stars. And I think that's the way that WWE presents their superstars. We're presenting the company over the talent, when it's the talent that brings them into the company. But yeah, at WrestleMania, we're going to get Bad Bunny and Equal Taker, aka Damian Priest, versus The Miz and John Morrison. The Miz and John Morrison, sometimes they're like really entertaining, and sometimes they're just like, dude, would you stop? Seriously, stop it. And I'm not even joking. Just stop. It's not cool. It's not cool. But yeah, SP3, my good brother, what do you think about this upcoming celebrity match? Do you think the build has been good? I think not unfortunately, but I think that Damian Priest, Bad Bunny, Miz, Morrison has been built up better than some championship matches. To be honest, it's been constant. It's always been a vital part of Raw. They give it the spotlight. It's been getting some more attention than the women's tag team division. SP3, what are your thoughts on Equal Taker and Bad Bunny versus The Miz and John Morrison?
Yeah, I mean, this was the match I was referring to earlier, where we were promoted a singles match for weeks, and then the go home show, it gets changed to a tag team match. It's like, why did you promote it as a singles match when this is what you were building originally? It's like you just wasted a whole bunch of time and then told us it's a singles match. I done went on Wrestling Daily and cut promos about why it makes sense, why, the casual wrestling fan, they don't know no John Morrison, no Johnny Mundo, no Johnny Drip Drip. They don't know him. They don't know no 38-year-old rookie Puerto Rican named Damian Priest, but they know the winner of the challenge, The Miz, versus the 2020 Spotify Artist of the Year, the 2021 Grammy Award winner, Bad Bunny. Yes, that's money right there. That's a match that draws the casual viewers. But of course, yes, it makes more sense for this to be a tag team match because the more people in there, it protects Bad Bunny, who has been training at the Performance Center. I'll give him that. But he's never had a professional wrestling match. So this is the best way to protect him. It's more people in the match. It's going to be entertaining because of those guys, and Bad Bunny can be used in the right spots. I think that Bad Bunny has honestly had an all-time celebrity run. Like, he has delivered every single time he's had an opportunity. I felt like he knocked this promo out of the park. He went through so many different emotions, talking about how he came into WWE, talking about how he got disrespected by The Miz, and how he was now angry and going to whoop his ass at WrestleMania. Just the level of emotions, him getting comfortable, regrouping, speaking Spanish midway through the promo. I just felt it. There was passion there that you don't really see from celebrities all the time. And just the length of his run, I think that it's up there with the all-time greatest celebrity runs in professional wrestling history. I think we may be having a run-in on Richie's Raw recap. I see someone in the backstage area. I see them walking in the back. So it seems like we have a run-in, none other than the former host of our WWE Raw reviews on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, Drunk Guy JJ is here. Oh my God. It's a run-in. It's a run-in. What's going on, Drunk Guy?
What's up, yo, man? I had to come hijack my show back for just one episode, it's been a while.
Well, since you're here for the running, give us your thoughts on the Bad Bunny and Damian Priest versus The Miz and John Morrison being made for WrestleMania, and your thoughts on Bad Bunny's promo.
Bad Bunny's fucking dope. Shout out to Bad Bunny. Somebody about to steal. I am in here at work, sorry. But yeah, I'm definitely looking for, like you said, I was overhearing you talk. This should have always been a tag team match to begin with. Like, I don't see Miz. Miz is good, but there's no way. I don't think he could carry Bad Bunny to a match by himself. So like you said, they should have been false advertising for the last 3 fucking weeks about this match. It should have always been tag team, like they built it up to. I'm actually looking forward to this. I actually want to see how good Bad Bunny is in the ring. Like, he's been a lifelong fan. He talked about that in his promo, and of course, everybody wants to walk in the store now. Jesus fucking Christ. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Mania. What's up, Richie? I ain't meet you yet. It's good to see you, man. But yeah, Mania's going. This match should be entertaining at WrestleMania. I can't wait actually for it.
Yes, you will be there live, drunk guy. But thank you for your run-in, sir. I know you got
Yes,
to get back.
absolutely. It's WrestleMania week, man. We gotta do these type of things, man. This is a big week. This is the fuck we do. That's what we do.
I don't know. I don't know if you want to take the opportunity to do your plugs now, but I don't
No.
know if you have time.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Follow me on Instagram, Haxel_J Duggan. Twitter, Drunken Master JJ. Facebook, my name. If you know me, you know my name. And you know the gang is here. Richie Moon, SP3. You know what the fuck we do. You're everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Gotta watch these customers. You know, everywhere. That's what we do.
Oh, I love it. Thank you for the run-in, drunk guy. Until
All right.
next time.
All right,
Peace.
good brother. I'll see y'all later, man.
Nice little run in there by the drunk guy JJ. We also got a run in on the live chat. Alex Alberto G says the problem is John Cena turned away more fans than added during his era, but I rather have John Cena than McIntyre. I 100% agree with you there, because although Drew McIntyre has probably been the best babyface promo as far as like on a Monday Night Raw since a John Cena, John Cena is just so much more compelling as a character. And he goes through the highs and the emotions a lot smoother. Although Drew is getting a John Cena type push, he does not have the character or the convention in his promos that John Cena had. Like, John Cena was 1000% more interesting in the top babyface position than Drew McIntyre. I'm sorry for the Drew fans, but that's just the truth in my opinion. We also got Jason Michael Campbell saying, I've always liked John Morrison. Preparing him with Miz just kills it for me. Just look at his hair now. Yeah, it kind of looks like he's a rooster. And yep, exactly. Wasted a whole bunch of time talking about them advertising this as a singles match, then making it a tag team match on the Go Home show. Complete waste of time, Richie. But yes, that is my thoughts on Bad Bunny. And by the way, Richie, so you know, I am officially now the special counsel for your ethnic celebrity chief, Bad Bunny. I am the special counsel. I am the Paul Heyman to Bad Bunny's Roman Reigns. And I don't have my blazer right now to put on my jacket and complete the gimmick. But yes, I am the special counsel of the ECC, Bad Bunny. But Richie, yes, take it away.
I am here, special counsel SP3. I am here for it. Shout out to drunk guy JJ for the run in, a quick little hot tag, you know. I think Sheamus has been putting on some of his best in-ring work as of late. I really want to take him and Matt Riddle a bit more serious. I just wish WWE would present it a little bit more serious. And I understand that they're going for the stoner kind of thing. And I think at times just Riddle can be hilarious. I do think it can be funny. And sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's really a miss. Last night was a miss. I think it was a miss. He was riding around in his scooter, just kind of making high jokes. And yeah, you know, sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. Last night he missed. But Riddle versus Ali, you know, as bad as Raw is sometimes, as lackluster it is, as the build are good, one thing I would never take away from Monday Night Raw is the in-ring action. In-ring action, for the most part, is always really top-notch, always really good stuff. And Riddle and Ali were no exception. One of my issues with this is that they did have a match a couple of weeks ago. It's kind of been a subtle feud. I just wish they would put more emphasis on this. I feel like Mustafa Ali and Riddle can really tear the house down. I wouldn't even mind seeing Riddle versus Sheamus versus Ali in a three-way match for the United States Championship at WrestleMania. I'm pretty sure Ali is not going to make the WrestleMania card. This was a really good match between the two. Obviously, Riddle won, but I mean, I thought it was a really good match. I mean, like I said, you know, for the lackluster stuff they have on Raw, the in-ring stuff is always pretty solid, and this is no exception. Riddle versus Ali, it was a really good match for me. Probably the match of the night, honestly, as far as just in-ring. You take away all the stuff as far as in-ring. This was really good stuff. I just wish that they could just do more with Ali. You know, I thought Retribution was going to be a really big push for Ali. We all seen how that went. I think Riddle can still do the comedy stuff, but I think they need to balance it out. It's like with Edge and Christian. Edge and Christian were hilarious backstage, hilarious in the exit. But as soon as that bell rang, they were on, and you took them serious. I think sometimes with Riddle, they blur those lines a little bit too much, and you kind of don't know when to take him serious and when to take him not. Even though when he gets in that ring, he little to his name. He's a true stallion. He gets in there, he whips ass. But I just wish they would just treat him just a little bit more serious so we can take him a bit more serious as a character. But SP3, what's your thoughts on Riddle versus Ali?
I thought that it was a good match. I disagree though. I feel like Riddle is taken seriously when he's in the ring. I feel like because of his style, mostly because he's got all the hard strikes, the elbows, the knee strikes, the submissions. He's very serious in the ring. It's just outside of the ring, yeah, they've made him into a comedy act, a joke. And they make it pretty much that with the entrance now, with the birds, the colorful birds flying out everywhere like it's Fruit Loops and shit. So, yeah, it's a little bit too much, but this was the in-ring highlight of the show, in my opinion. Mustafa Ali is one of the more underrated guys on the entire Raw roster. I liked his little backstage promo talking about Riddle, blaming him for the breakup of Retribution. And yeah, that's a great way to make Riddle a babyface, to say that he is the reason why Retribution broke up. Yeah, you're going to get all the fans to cheer him. So smart move, Ali. I'll give you credit. That was very wise on your part. But yeah, Sheamus and Riddle have been the two of the best in-ring performers on the entire Raw roster for the last 6 to 8 months. Their matches on Monday Night Raw have always been bangers. Last week they had a really good matchup, and I think they're going to have another really good matchup at WrestleMania as long as they get time. I know some people would love if it's an 18-second match and Riddle gets blasted with the bro kick and loses the US title, but if it gets more than 10 minutes, we will have something else of quality on this card, which is always a plus. Night 2 of WrestleMania looks really strong as far as the in-ring work, as far as, you know, you got Zayn versus Owens, you got this match, you got Asuka and Rhea, you got the triple threat for the Universal Championship. Night 2, you made a good choice. It looks like it's the better night as far as in-ring work.
And for our going home segment, for the biggest show of the year, for the not for the WWE Championship, but you know, we have one of the contenders in the main event of night 1. Fifth generation Camry Joseph says, "Great show. Hope everyone has a great day." Thank you, good sir. Hope you also have a wonderful day. Too sweet to you, my good brother. For the go home segment, for the go home show to WrestleMania, the biggest show of the year, WWE Championship. One of the contenders is Drew McIntyre. He is facing King Corbin. Man, to say that this is a letdown, to say that this is lackluster, to just be kind of baffled is really an understatement. I will never take anything away from King Corbin's in-ring. I actually enjoy King Corbin's in-ring. So I like the deep six. I love when he gets Irish whipped and then he goes outside and comes back in there for that big clothesline. The end of the day, I think Baron Corbin's moveset is really cool. But when we're talking about go home segment, when we're talking about WWE Championship implications, when we're talking about the go home show for Wrestle Bloody Mania, I don't want a 15-minute King Corbin main event match to go, here it is. I would have been totally cool with this match being like in the middle of Raw, being the opening match to Raw, being the semi-main, but for this to be the last match, you know, for I mean, all of us are watching, we all know, but your go-home show is for all those fans that may be on the ropes about whether to get into WWE Network, whether you're on the ropes about if you're going to watch WrestleMania. The go-home show is supposed to draw you in, like, no, you need to see the show. And this show, as an overall, did none of that for me. I mean, no. Like, we're just knee-deep in it because we're wrestling fans. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we're here on this platform. I'm going to WrestleMania Night 2. But if I was on the fence about whether or not to watch WrestleMania, I would totally like, yeah, I can miss it. I'd be fine. Totally fine with missing it. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. And unfortunately, this match just really didn't do anything. And, you know, we were expecting a big brawl between Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre to end going into their big match at WrestleMania. And the only thing we got was a really pissed off Bobby Lashley staring at Drew McIntyre really hard on the rampway. That's the go-home segment. That's what we got. And it's just, that's what we got. And it's just, I think that's just that paints the entire picture of how Raw has been for the last couple of weeks. Just that's all I feel. After I watched it, was just like, I was expecting that. Was like, oh, that's it. Oh. Okay.
I heard you.
That's your go-home segment for Raw, for Wrestle Bloody Mania. Not Payback, not Backlash, not Vengeance, not No Way Out, not any B pay-per-view. The pay-per-view of the year, WrestleMania. That was your go-home segment. SP3, my good brother. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are that, I give King Corbin credit. I have to give King Corbin credit because he deserves credit. Although I had no interest, absolutely zero. No, that's wrong. -50, probably -50% interest in King Corbin being in a 20-minute matchup as the go-home main event going into WrestleMania. But it was a good match. Drew just is very well adept in these heavyweight clashes. We've seen it with Sheamus. We've seen it with Bobby Lashley in the past. And now we see it here. He just knows how to make it entertaining. Him tossing around a guy that never gets tossed around, that is a bigger dude. It just always looks impressive, always makes it entertaining. King Corbin has one of the better movesets, like you mentioned. And so it was entertaining for what it was. But how is that supposed to make me want to see WrestleMania? This guy took 15, 16, 25, 20-something minutes to beat King Corbin? And I'm supposed to believe he's supposed to beat the almighty Bobby Lashley? For God's sakes, WWE, can you do anything right? Can you do anything right? You have actively made this build, made me less interesting in Lashley and Drew McIntyre. That seems to be the theme with Monday Night Raw feuds, because they have actively been making me try to be less interested in every single feud. And that's just sad, because on paper, all the matchups from Raw and SmackDown on night 1 and night 2 of WrestleMania look intriguing, look entertaining, and it's something that I want to get invested in. But they're not making me invested in at all. We have Jason Michael Campbell in the comments on Facebook saying, Drew McIntyre, just don't draw me in. We also have him saying, have either of you guys heard of Ash Costello other than her song Brutality? Yes, Ash Costello will be performing Rhea Ripley to the ring at WrestleMania, performing her theme song Brutality. And no, I have not. Outside of that, I like the song though. It's a great theme song. We got Jason Michael Campbell saying, it was a huge letdown. King Corbin should have won. If you thought King Corbin was going to win on the go-home show to WrestleMania, optimism is a great thing, I guess. Alex Alberto G says, could the Bella Twins make a surprise appearance in the tag team title match? I think they could make a surprise appearance in the Turmoil. I think that the reason why WWE originally they advertised the matchup on night 1 as a fatal 4-way. Now they're advertising it as a tag team tournament, which leaves the door open for more tag teams to be involved. So, Bailey and Carmella have not been advertised, but they're most likely going to be in that matchup. So I would not be surprised if the Bella Twins are involved as well. They've already said on a recent interview that they would appear at WrestleMania. So in what form, in what type of role they would be, that's very interesting, and that's a good option, a good possibility there. Continue to keep giving us the live chat. We're going to be going on for a couple of more minutes, even though we've wrapped up the Raw card. So keep putting in your thoughts. We want to read your comments, know what you thought about Raw and what you're thinking about WrestleMania heading into Saturday and Sunday. Alex Alberto G also says, what should Lashley do next if he loses to Drew? Rematch at the next pay-per-view? More than likely, yes. It will just be another rematch at the very next pay-per-view. But yeah, that's a good question because, everybody's thinking that Drew is going to win on Saturday. But that is a great question. What is going to happen to Bobby Lashley next? Like, you just won the title and then you lose it like a month later. Is he in a viable position to keep his momentum, Richie? What do you think? You're still muted, sir. You're still muted, sir.
Well,
yeah, you're good now.
And that was the secret to life. But on back to Raw, I would like to see Bobby Lashley retain, but I'm totally here for Drew winning. What happens to Bobbles? What happens to Bobbles if he loses? I unfortunately think that they'll throw him back down the card. So I really want Bobby Lashley to win. He's been built up as the Almighty. This is walking Armageddon for those who knew him in the TNA days. I've been waiting for this Bobby Lashley to show up and show out. If he does lose, I would draft him to SmackDown. I would have him appear at SmackDown, because I that's not going to happen more than likely. But if he does, I would move him over just to keep him strong and have him go up against the Roman Reigns or the Daniel Bryan's or the Edges, whoever comes out on top of there. But I want to see Bobby Lashley stay strong. I want to see him stay at the top of the card. I don't want to see him get thrown back down to the bottom of the card. They've been building Bobby Lashley for months. If you watch, they've been building him for months. So I really hope this is not just all for to crescendo at WrestleMania. But I do think Drew McIntyre more than likely is going to be walking out of WrestleMania Night 1 WWE Champion. So I really hope that Bobby Lashley can stay almighty, can stay at the top of the card, whether that be going back after Drew McIntyre, or I shift him over to SmackDown to keep him strong, good refresh, even though it's not going to be a draft. So what? King Corbin just came over to Raw. So what? Just throw Bobby Lashley over there, man. That's what I'm hoping to see. That's what I'm hoping happens at WrestleMania.
I mean, that's interesting. I just don't see Bobby Lashley going over the Monday Night Raw, and I don't see the role for him because he is a heel. And I either see Roman or Edge winning at WrestleMania, and that's a heel champion. So I don't see how going to Raw benefits him because he doesn't have, the easy route to the Universal champion. But we got a couple of more comments to read. John Elite says Tom Phillips said a line last week that made no sense. He said the women's tag team titles can be defended on any brand. Clearly, he hasn't watched NXT since they introduced the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships. All Elite Wrestle Report says, hey, SP3, did you see, and Richie, did you see there was actually a moment during the Bobby versus Cedric match where they showed Goldberg in one of the screens? I hope that was a recording because otherwise, no. Yeah, it's probably a recording because they do use recordings, and this was a tape show of Monday Night Raw, so I wouldn't get too worried. All Elite Wrestle Report, but good comment there. But yes, that brings us to a close on this episode of Monday Night Raw. Richie, you did an excellent job running through the card. You always do an excellent job covering Monday Night Raw on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. Richie's Raw recap. Take a look at all his past episodes reviewing Monday Night Raw. And Richie, tell the fine folks where they can find you on social media and anything else that you got going on WrestleMania week.
Thank you, my good brother. Well, we've seen a lot of forbidden doors being opened lately with AEW and New Japan. And we're seemingly, I don't know if you can call this a forbidden door being open, but the forbidden door has been knocked on with one Chris Jericho guest appearing on a Broken Skull podcast with Stone Cold, but I'm pretty sure all of us are very eagerly anticipating. I have the Richie Moon show, and I also do, like the good brother said, I do Richie's Raw recap for the True Hill Wrestling YouTube show. For a long time, those two worlds have been completely separate. But this week for WrestleMania week, I have kicked open my own forbidden doors, and we're actually having WrestleMania week on the Richie Moon show. Last night we had some of the good brothers from True Hill Heats on there. Later this week, I'll have SP3 on there. I'll have Chrissy Love. We're going to be talking about WrestleMania, why we started liking wrestling, what was our first WrestleMania, current thoughts on just the wrestling landscape as a whole. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of wrestle talk, no pun intended, and it's going to be a good time. So check me out on the Richie Moon show this week. You can find it wherever you listen to podcasts. You can find it on YouTube. You can find me on Instagram, and I'm going to have a multitude of wrestling characters from around the wrestling world. I'm talking about wrestling, you know, why we have this passionate love for wrestling. So the forbidden door is finally open with the Richie Moon show, True Hill Heat. We're coming together finally, and we're laying it all out there. So definitely join me this week. Tonight, I'll be live tonight with Haven. Haven will be a guest star on my show, and we're going to be talking about wrestling from all over the wrestling world, what we're looking forward to, what we're not looking forward to. So yes, tap in with me. And of course, you can find me on the True Hill Heat YouTube with Richie's Raw recap. I need to definitely get another video essay out there, but that will definitely be coming soon. But yeah, you can find me on all those platforms. Thank you to my good brother SP3 for co-hosting Richie's Raw recap. You're a great co-host, man. So it's good to have mix up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Have a co-host. You know, it's a great mix up. And yeah, look out for all the great shows that we're gonna have on True Hill Heat. We are working this week, ladies and gentlemen. There are lots and lots of shows, and I wanted to actually send a shout out to you. You did a rewind, a True Hill rewind, and you covered WrestleMania 12. WrestleMania 12 was my first WrestleMania that I watched. My first WrestleMania, that classic match with Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, one of my favorite matches of all time. So shout out to you guys for covering that. That was a great episode. Go check it out. And like I said, catch the Richie Moon show on Instagram and wherever you listen to your podcast platform, wherever your platforms are at. So peace, love, and light to you. Thank you, SP3, for having me on, good brother.
Oh, well, I'm on your show, sir. But yes, yes, Richie does great work. Definitely check him out later today, when he goes live later this week with myself, Miss Chrissy Love. We got All Elite Wrestle Report saying thank you, Richie and SP3, for a wonderful show. Yes, we thank you, sir. And of course, we thank everyone for watching. Drop us a like, drop us a heart, a laugh emoji, an angry emoji, whatever expression you want to drop on this video on Facebook, do that now. Tag your friends in this video. The more engagement, the more people that we see watching, we get more people, get more engagement. I think we lost Richie. I think we lost Richie. But yes, get more people involved in the chat. Of course, share this video on all your favorite social media platforms. On YouTube, drop us a like. If you haven't already, if you're new, push the subscribe button and push the bell to stay notified. Over 40% of you watching do not subscribe to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. And it's like, what are you doing? There is so much great content for you to enjoy. Our WrestleMania week content is going to continue. To later today, we're going to have True Rewind 45. Like Richie says, we did a review of the Iron Man match live on Friday to kick off our WrestleMania week, and we continue it later today with True Rewind 45. It didn't drop last night, so it will drop tonight, and we go live tomorrow night following the Wednesday Night Wars between WWE NXT and AEW Dynamite with the finale of Wednesday Night Warriors with Chris G, Romeo. I'll be there. And we got the WrestleMania preview on Friday. We got True Hill Heat 120 on Thursday. Oh my God, it's so much content to enjoy. So for Richie Moon, the great, for it is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. This has been Richie's Raw Recap covering WWE Raw for April 5th, 2021. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we will see you next time.